Charge and slam. Mesh shield. Winch claw. The go-to specializations for the heavy, but I believe in the fourth option. One with unrivaled versatility and utility. A specialization with so much potential, it's only limited by your creativity. Other classes use a grenade to even mimic a fraction of this specialization's power. The Goo Gun. To start off simply, what is the Goo Gun and what does it do? It seems to be a 20-round pressurized canister of goo rolled out of a metal tube that expands and hardens on contact, unless you hit another player with it, but that's for later. And if you're not privy to the amazing potential of the Goo Gun with such a simple premise, well, my friend, prepare to get learned on all the unique and varied ways you can use the Goo Gun in the finals. And you might be asking yourself, why should I even care to use something like this when all the other specializations exist? I think it's time for a practical demonstration on all the ways you can use a Goo Gun. Number 1, walls. So like stated earlier, even the goo grenades can make simple walls, but what they can't do is fill in even the tiny little cracks that lights love to run over and then start firing over top. So the Goo Gun can actually fill those cracks from goo grenades, or you can just sit there and do the entire job yourself. And honestly, that's one of the things I like most about the Goo Gun in this context, is that it stops lights from moving in places you don't want them to be. Even though those tiny little hidey holes, you can fill those up with goo too. But yeah, completing I'll refer to them as barricades of goo. It doesn't let other players throw utility over those barricades whenever you fill them up completely. Also, I've been able to stop demat pushes by filling up the gooed areas of the demats. You can demat a lot of things in this game. You can demat barricades, walls, floors, any solid object, but you can't demat goo. And I've used this to a point where I stopped a team that I knew had demats and they wanted to demat the cash box, and I just put the goo underneath the cash box in this way to keep them from dematting it to the floor, which probably gave us enough time to keep them from actually sealing the cash out. Number 2, simple stairways. You don't have a lot of movement options as a heavy compared to the medium, and definitely compared to the light, but you can make simple stairways and even just elevate a platform just a little bit so you can just give yourself a chance to get to higher platforms if you fell down and you need to get to your team faster. As a heavy, you don't have time to run to a stairway to try to get back up another floor. Better to just either make one block so you can hop up to the next platform if there's a hole in the roof, or build a stairway so you can get up quicker. Number 3, you can move rubble with a Goo Gun. And I know it's a little more finicky, and even I don't understand it completely, but if you start putting some goo underneath rubble, yet you just need to move something or just get shit out of your way, you can actually use the Goo Gun to just basically jack up any rubble to get it out of your way. Number 4, goo locking. Now, this is the offensive use of the Goo Gun and some people's favorite use of it. I've seen a lot of melee players goo lock people because it keeps them from running away from. Definitely really useful on lights that love to dash away, and mediums because they're just a little bit faster than you. But if you shoot them in the feet, they can't run away. But if you shoot them in the torso, they can't shoot back either, which is very helpful if you're a melee player. But honestly, if you are using a melee weapon, they're probably not shooting back at you. They're probably just trying to run away from you as fast as possible. Now, this is some things to keep in mind. Goo is very flammable, and there are times if you goo everything, people are gonna throw pyro grenades on your goo. When goo's on fire, it will keep inflicting you with fire damage, so it's best not to stand around it or on it. But if people decide to lock themselves in a room, you can actually spread more fire in there and do a little bit more fire damage if you goo the room. And another insanely useful tactic with the Goo Gun is gooing people that are trying to steal the cash box. You won't always get a chance, but it's always extremely helpful because it stops them from stealing. And at the start of Season 7, they removed that, but then they had to bring it back because it created something even more unfair, whereas you could goo your own teammates trying to steal a cash out and it would protect them from all damage, so they had to bring back stopping the cash out completely if you goo someone. That's mostly it for what I know. There's definitely more interesting and unique ways you can use the Goo Gun, but that's from the extent of what I know as a guy that's been playing the finals for a month. I stream this game regularly on YouTube and maybe even considered Twitch, but Twitch is a lost cause from trying to get discovered on there. So if you like my content, feel free to stop by my streams. I stream most days 7 p.m. EST. The next video I plan on making is about the Akimbo 50s, my favorite heavy weapon that I honestly don't think belongs on the heavy. Anyway, I've been Rats, and I hope to see y'all in the finals. I know some of these words.
Just like, these are all words that are strung together in what should make a sentence.
Yes, the floor is made of floor.
Yes, the dictionary is made of dicks. Yo, you gotta do what you gotta do. Born to shit, forced to wipe. This motherfucker just said born to shit, forced to wipe.